Well, some of my juniors and friends have asked me this question, like whether to apply directly into PhD after doing BTech. Well, you need to understand that the perspective from which I'm speaking may or may not be applicable for you. So, before taking any decisions like this, which are really important to your life, just make sure that you're not being biased by anyone. It may be me or it may be anyone. So, anyway, so the thing is, you need to look from the perspective of the people who are going to look through your uh, letter of recommendations and statement of purpose. So when you're applying for PhD, the one who looks through them are the professors. So the professor's perspective is basically they are going to take those students who are having good research experience, right? And now, if you're doing your BTech in a university which is IIT, then the probability of you getting into a good university increases. However, if you're doing your bachelor's from any university which is non IIT and then you're trying to apply in abroad, then the probability generally is kind of difficult. Although there are some of my juniors who have really got into very good universities, uh, even though they did not do their bachelor's in IIT. And now, this is one perspective of looking into this matter. Now, there is another much deeper thing that I wanted to talk about. Like when you're doing your bachelor's, you're mostly doing something related to coursework, right? So, the amount of research experience that you have isn't enough. In such scenarios, I would suggest that doing a master's will help you because you will get a taste of research. You'll understand what really happens in research because exceeding in research and exceeding in coursework are two different things, are two very different things. For doing research, you need to sit with a problem that is occurring for quite a long amount of time, and you need to think about that problem only. But in the case of coursework, it's like semester based systems, and even when you're doing your bachelor's, the amount of project work that you do isn't sufficient to give you a good understanding of what research is. And I'd say that if you're confused that whether you're made for research or not, then it's better to do a master's. And after doing a master's, you will have a taste of whether you want to go for research or not. And then you can take the decision of a PhD, because when you're going in for PhD, you need to remember that it's going to take quite some amount of commitment, almost 3 to 5 years. I mean, we people say it's 5 years, but depending on the project that you're doing, it may even exceed 5 years. So it's not really in your hand. There are a lot of criterias which are working. So that's what I wanted to say. Okay, so another thing which is very important, before taking such decisions, you should make sure that you're not being biased by anyone. Ask yourself the same question lot of time, and only after you're fully convinced that you want to go for a PhD, then you go.